is trouble, G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday. It's Ted here. This is Mike Stanley. I'll talk to you about an update to my carded collection of vintage G.I. Joe, and it's a mix of stuff. I do cheat a lot in collecting the carded stuff because it's for my collection, not for resale or any of that kind of stuff. Did make the mistake in my very first carded collection video saying I might consider selling some of them because they were selling for like $500 each back then. Prices have come way down on this, which makes me want to collect more of it. And I'm not going to be getting into the 90s stuff, so I've got a lot of 90s stuff I got in that one collection haul. You can go watch that collection haul and see all that 90s stuff there. I think I've only picked up like 3 figures since then from the 90s. I'm not going after 90s hard. So this is 80s stuff that I picked up recently, and I've doubled my collection of vintage carded 80s figures, but again, I cheat, and I try to get them as cheap as I can, so I'll tell you how I cheat, I'll tell you how I get them cheap. Well, cheap is a relative term. We'll talk about this on today's Retro Wednesday, another G.I. Joe Retro Wednesday. Come on. Thought about going in like a chronological order, which I should probably have these in that order, but I don't. So I'm just going to grab them one at a time until I'm done. Starting out with Quick Kick here, and real quick side note, Retro Wednesday, I'm not going to do more than one G.I. Joe Retro Wednesday a month. I could do probably 6-10 weeks in a row of just G.I. Joe. But, all right, getting into Quick Kick, one of my favorite figures, characters, never had them carded. I don't think I've ever seen them in the store carded as a kid, so the card art seems foreign to me. I just don't remember it. I did get like my bubbles smashed in, or stress marks on my bubble, but it's a nice minty fresh figure in there. He's in there kind of funny. His rubber band's probably gonna pop pretty soon. Here's the back of the file card, and I'm not even sure, so this is something I have to kind of research. I know with Star Wars there's 12 backs and 24 backs, whatever, and 48 backs and 77 backs and stuff. So I don't really know how this, because it's like a rolling grid of figures and characters, and they do a wave and some drop off and more get added, which I think's a cool way to do it. But anyway, there's Quick Kick right there. So we're gonna set him aside and we're gonna move into another one, Doc. Now I really like Doc. Got a good deal on Doc. I was shocked about Doc. And a lot of this that I'm doing here is kind of predicated on how I'm going to... I got a big project coming up. I'm supposed to have been already done with it, but it's a lot of work and a lot of money. But it has to do with carded Joes. So here's the back. Now here's the thing. This was 83, so there's very little on there and a lot of coming soons and stuff. So very old. There's zoom in on that 1983. And none of these are reproduction cards or bubbles or any of that. It's all original on this table. So I'm pointing that out too. Man, it's just really crazy. I remember this picture. I remember this card back. I want to say like it was yesterday, but not like it was yesterday. Here's Bazooka. That's a pretty good looking bazooka. Actually, his punch is in there. So I did somehow randomly get some that have a punch. It was $2.69 on sale. Original price was $2.89. They knocked 20 cents off, so some kid could be happy and not happy enough to open it. A lot of the times you are going to see the stuff that's still sealed is on sale, clearance, or something like that because it didn't sell. That's just how it goes, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I think the price stickers are fun because they're part of history, and sort of part of the history that we aren't going to see much anymore. But Bazooka, I do remember the card art. It was a whole lot of fun. There's the Hasbro symbol down there, and of course we got his backpack up top and his helmet and his missile launcher down below. His bazooka. Here's insane. So this is the Crimson Card 2-pack. Crimson Guard Commanders. Crimson Twins. I've got to say this was eye-opening because there's a couple of things. First of all, they don't make reproduction of this, so you have to get original. Second of all, if it's 100% sealed, it's like $800 or some ridiculous nonsense. So I got a package that was opened, and I just worked it back into there. So as you can see, it's phenomenal packaging. I love it. Same, kind of the same that Super 7 did. Now they do make reproduction kind of like this double bubble thing going on here, and so I was considering upgrading mine because I have that, and I'm thinking about upgrading it. But I like it original. I like knowing it's original, so I'm probably just gonna stick with it being original. But I thought about getting a second one of these because, I mean, it's about the same, although the vintage stuff is shinier. The vintage has a better mirror reflection. But I thought about getting another one of these to just kind of like, I don't know, to use the packaging on. But these things are sold out now. They were $40 to start. Now people want 150 or something for that set. I thought about getting a spare set to use it, and I should have when I had time. But they use a similar packaging. It is narrower. No, it's about the same. About the same width. It's pretty close, actually. It is pretty close. And what's the back of it look like? Yeah, this is Super 7 over here. But yeah, they match the vintage really close. You got the world's biggest Super 7 shield over here right now. Next up, I got a wetsuit. What was he, 85 or something like that? I gotta check. But another one fun, $3.99 at a KB. I thought KB was the cheap place to get it, but anyway, got all his stuff crammed up in that little bubble there, and then he's down here at the bottom. I am curious though. 85. 1985, that's all of the stuff that came out with them. So fun. Wetsuit's definitely one of the characters I remember the most. And it was quite elusive for me to get as a kid. So as an adult, it was fun to be able to pick up sort of a carded one here. Then I got, this one got me excited, Spirit. We'll talk a little bit about it, but some of these aren't sealed. He's not sealed, but it's beautiful color, beautiful everything in there. And so with that, that gets into sort of I got some dents and dings on them. $3.29 at Sky City, whatever that is. But you know, it gets into like it's even unpunched. But if you collect for yourself, right, and you like your collection, you just like looking at it, who really cares? You know, if it's if you like it and you're happy, and you like, well, I don't want to spend $500 on a sealed one, and I like this one for about $100, then you know that's just the way it is. But I like it, and I have a bigger conversation coming exactly about that on Friday. Okay, so I have a bigger conversation on Friday coming about collecting what you like, but for me, I'm okay with getting the Fun School versions of these figures. Now, some people they feel some kind of way about the Fun School, but if I can get it for a tenth of the cost, then I will. Fun School stuff, sometimes the accessories are different color, but with the Dreadnoks, they're fine. The Dreadnoks themselves are different colors, which makes me want to get loose ones also now that I have these, and I'm like, wow, they're different colors. That'd be so much fun to have different color. But the weird thing about Fun School is that it is ridiculously expensive to get Torch. So you can get the Buzzer and Ripper for a decent price, but Torch is very expensive. And then Road Pig was probably like $50 for the Fun School version. And I get all the feels for looking at that Fun School version, but over here, like this one here looks a little weird. So I probably would rather have a US version of that, but still fun to have my Dreadnoks in this. And let's see what the backs of the Fun School look like. So that does look different. That does look a bit different. That looks a little closer to what we got. And then of course, we've got the usual card back going right here for this. Torch. So yeah, I mean, I had to go US to get that, but a lot of fun stuff, and I'm nowhere near done with collecting, but I have a big project that I'm keeping secret till it's done. Starting with Destro, then I'm going to run through all the ones that I've had since childhood, but Destro is one I got from a buddy of mine. Very tough figure to get carded. Probably easier than Baroness though, but I want to say prices have come down. So guy in OKC here wanted 2,400. He had a shop, wanted 2,400 for Baroness, but I see someone else selling a carded Baroness for 1,000. So I think prices have come way down on these, which is a good thing for the collector. Bad thing for the speculator. So it's Friday's topic. It's coming up, but yeah, definitely a good Destro, and I store them I store them like this, and yes, you can't see the artwork and card backs and stuff, but I don't want the bubble coming off, and I don't want their rubber band to pop. But let's move on to what's next here. Well, look at Storm Shadow. Now, the weird thing is that I've had this since I was a kid, and for probably about, so all my personal ones, 3 years maybe. They were probably in a garage or an attic or something. I have no idea where they were stored. But once I got them in 96, so 96 I got them back. I kept them in, they've been in air-conditioned environment, they've been in cases, and treasured. So I have no idea why he's so yellowed from that. And I see a lot of loose ones that aren't yellowed. But it's sort of an is what it is kind of ordeal. But I wish I would have had the first Storm Shadow. I barely was able to track down a loose first version Storm Shadow as a kid, let alone gotta keep a carded one, which I would have loved that. I probably would have opened it because I kept losing the accessories. But Spearhead, not a figure I really cared about. So again, if you're a kid switching over from collector, he's still got a little dust in there, from collector to adult, then you're just like, well, I think, well, okay, so you're a kid playing with them and ripping them open. You're turning 13 and 14, you're turning into a collector. I guess that's the correct way to say it. And not quite an adult yet, but you're heading that direction, and you're like, well, in 30 years, they'll be worth $100. They're actually worth, some of them are worth way more than that. I never thought a $3 action figure could be worth thousands and thousands. Some of these I think I did open and tape back shut, but it's my collection, so it doesn't matter. $2.90 a KV. I was always after the deals. Definitely after the deals. This was Undertow. Cool looking figure, but I didn't know the character, so I didn't care to open it. The character, I didn't care to open it. Oh, I guess show the back of them too. If I get out of showing the backs, that sucks. But fun, and in this era, I was really getting out of G.I. Joe by, what was it, 88, something like that. And then we'll hold on to the Python Patrol stuff for later. But here we go with Alley Viper, which Alley Viper's a cool one. I loved the little Dragon Fire mini episodes. That was fun. He's got all his stuff in here. I guess his mask is separated into there. And then flip around the back here, we can see what's going on. And so the Alley Viper, I mean, it would be a troop builder. And then these little figures here, like I've got a full, I think I'm 3 shy of a full set of those minifigures, which is another weird, fun thing that deserves a video. So the minifigure is going to have to get talked about. Hopefully I've got the minifigures that I'm missing in my carded ones over here. Next up we got Scoop, and I seriously wanted to love this character. And funny thing is, I guess since I did I not open it? I don't remember him having a, people talk about his microphone, but I don't see it in there. I'm sure it is. Oh, it's already connected to the helmet. Yeah, I'm not sure I can show that. Yeah, it's connected already to the helmet. So anyway, I couldn't quite get into the character. I tried to. I thought he was okay, but I was like, I still don't like him as much as the other Joes. And then here we go on the back. As you can see, a lot of wear on that peg. And I don't, is there even a price tag? There's not. Oh yeah, $3.79 at Gibson's. Gibson's was a whole lot of fun back in the day. Let's go ahead and grab Iceberg. Now Iceberg's one that's coming up. Hey, we're gonna get that classified, and he looks cool. Boring on the pegs. He only had a gun, and he's just a snow dude with a gun. But nowadays, to get a minty white one, I mean, in the package they're not even white. So I don't know. They discolor really bad in the package. But I'm glad to have it, and it's my childhood one. $2.95 at AFES on post. So that's where you get your stuff. Wherever you find it, that's where you get it. Then we got the Big Boa. It's another childhood one, and really a cool figure. He's got his breather on there. So, and I gotta look real close because I was slick as a kid because I was able to slick getting them open, slick getting them shut back down the same day. So I don't think I opened this one. I think I ended up finding a loose one. Look how discolored his legs are, though. That's pretty discolored. And that's not a discolored bubble either. So sometimes discolored figures look discolored because of the bubble. There's the back of them. 86? Big Bo is 86? Huh. Thought that was later. Then we've got Naga. So I guess I could have pulled him out. So I'll put him. And as I'm doing this, I can group them by however I want to and put them back. So that's the fun part. Gibson's $3.79. I miss Gibson's. It was fun. A little higher price, so there's stuff. They had stuff that Walmart wouldn't because Walmart was the cheapest. TG&Y, and it's funny because like TG&Y, a lot of Walmarts took over TG&Ys around here. But 1988, so that's what I kind of expected him to be, an 88er, an 88 alumni. One of my top troop builder figures here, and that's the Night Creeper. And I like the Night Creeper, $3.39, but code name Night Creeper Ninja. What is this ring? See, that's a weird thing. Like, there's packaging variations and extra things that they did pack stuff in. I'm sure you can probably find him without the ring. I'm guessing. I don't know. Was he only offered with the ring? It'd be interesting questions. But there's the back of him, and it was 89. Ooh. Like, what was I doing buying these still in 89? All right, DJ. No, if it says 89 on the packaging, that means I probably didn't get it until 90. And by 91, I was out. I was tapped. I was done. Done by 91. Done by 191. DJ, codename DJ. Comes with a wetsuit, and that's kind of fun. This dude's little hose is a challenge to get, and his antenna, which I was looking. There's his little antenna. Right there. There's his little antenna. Hard to see. Anyway, and he's not super white either, so he's all kind of discolored. Man, figures keep getting discolored in the package. Makes no sense. And then we've got Target with a Sergeant Slaughter minifigure. Iron Grenadiers. I don't know why. I just don't view him as Iron Grenadier, and I don't view his head as teal. I view it as blue, but it sure looks teal to me. It was $2.95 at an APHIS, and then I'll be sharing some more secrets here after I'm done with my childhood collection. I got one more section, childhood collection. So now we're getting into Python Patrol, and I've made this video before, but I've said it, and I'll say it again. The Tiger Force and Python Patrol were, like, I kind of viewed it as an insult to us, to kids that wanted the standard stuff again. Like, why could we not get the standard stuff, the 82, 83, standard trooper and officer and all that kind of stuff? But this stuff came out, and I was like, well, I'll buy it, because if I don't get it, then I just won't have one, so I buy it, and there's the back of it, and this stuff was 88, and I'll try to keep all these grouped together, but guess what? You'll never guess. Okay, you'll never guess. I don't have any Tiger Force. I hated the Tiger Force. As an adult, I appreciate it, and I like it, and I had some that were open that I got in the garage sales and stuff, but yeah, Tiger Force. Python Patrol Televiper, kind of cool looking figure. I just like the brighter colors now as an adult. Back then, I was like, I just need a regular Televiper, and these weren't the greatest condition cards. The ones from my childhood are not in the best of shape, but I guess as time goes by, they mean more to you. It is kind of fun knowing you got like minty new Python officer. I used to get into arguments with friends of mine about what toy line's gonna be worth the most in the future. As a kid, obviously, if you're a kid keeping it sealed on the package, you're concerned about value. I thought Star Wars would be worth more. Or no, Joe would be worth more than Star Wars. Yeah, that's what back then. That's why I kept them. I traded my Star Wars off. But I'm not 100% sure that you can say that either one's worth more. Like if you just randomly grab a figure, because some of the Joe stuff is in the thousands, and some of the Star Wars stuff's in the thousands. So I don't know. But I mean, these were selling for like 300. But I think now you can get one for 100, 150, I guess. I haven't really checked prices on these, other than the fact that like I see one that I don't have, I go after it, and then if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. So there's the back. And then I got one Slaughter Marauder, which I group it in this because Slaughter's Marauders has like a color scheme very similar to Python Patrol and Tiger Force and all that, different than standard Joe's. Got a TG and Y. I can't even see that price. $3.99. TG and Y used to be like the cheapest, like Walmart. $3.99. Hey, do I have his? His bipod must be up in here somewhere. I don't know. I don't see it. Could have fallen off. Somewhere in there. Okay, there's the back, and this was $19.89. I'm going to spill the beans on my secret here, and after I show you 3 of these, and then this is $2.97 at whatever that place is, and looks kind of good. We saw the Python Patrol one. I should have checked to see if the pictures are the same. And here's the back of it, unpunched, which is so crazy because it's been opened. It's been opened, but I've got another. This one's been opened too, so doesn't really bother me. And I'm not as good at closing them down as I used to be, so I'll have to spend a little more time on that. But definitely something like, what are we talking here? 83, like this kind of stuff. It's tough. Like I stumbled across a couple of good ones. I guess Dreadnought should go with the Dreadnoughts, right? But Xandar A85, and this one I got for like $40. So you're getting them. I'm getting them less than $100 with original card back bubbles and stuff, but they've been open, and I'm okay with that. But I've got a whole different set of things that I do here now. Like one of my projects here is going to be shipwreck. So I got a card back, and then I've got a shipwreck that's I got to make it look good, like it's carded. For me personally. Now this isn't something I do to sell it or anything, but you line it all up perfect and get it glued or taped down depending on the figure and how it's going to go. So all kind of fun stuff there. But you know, it's do you want to pay $700 for this? I don't know. What does a carded one go for? And then like other figures, I don't really care too much about mainframe, but I got a card back and I got a spare mainframe, so I'll toss them in there. Got a flint and I got a spare flint, so I'll toss them in there. Card backs aren't great, but you know, when you're getting them for like 15 or 20 bucks, then it's definitely worthwhile to me to do that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of where I'm going to go. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. This was the second top voted in my Joe content that I was going to put out. And number 1 was Night Force. Number 2 is carded stuff. Number 3 was, I think, the Euro Tiger Force. And then after that was Fun School, which, you know, I got some Fun School stuff. So we'll be talking about all this stuff going forward. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like collecting the stuff carded? Does it have to be sealed? Can you get the same joy out of it if it's not sealed? And we'll be talking more about this on Friday. Tiger Hanger out.